Europeans change America by what they take away, but they change this continent even more by what they bring with them. They come in search of their own land, something almost impossible to find in Europe. They come in search of religious freedom, in search of a better life. They believe they are responsible for their own success and happiness. For the first time, women settlers come too, and they bring a whole way of life with them. They bring animals and plants that are all new to the American continent. Livestock and grains from Europe will transform the New World and make it a true New England. With the newly imported plow, they will leave little land untilled. These domesticated livestock and metal tools have never been seen on this continent. An environmental revolution takes place. In no time, their European wheat is growing in this foreign soil. Wheat, barley, oats, and rye are brought to America. But in the process, some less welcome guests hitch a ride.
Europeans introduced crops such as wheat to the Americas, but in the bags of seed that they brought with them to the Americas, they also brought along seeds for weeds, dandelions, other kinds of weeds, and these are everywhere in the Americas now.
From the most insignificant weed to the continent's greatest mammal, the bison, nothing is untouched. America's native flora and fauna is forever changed. Where the bison once reigned, cattle soon roam. To the settlers' delight, their livestock multiplies more quickly here than it did in Europe. In a few hundred years, European cows eat away the American grass and trample the soil, deposit their excrement, and distribute the seeds of the weeds. The invasion of European insects and animals changes the American landscape forever. Horses, pigs, sheep, goats, chickens, and huge herds of cattle take over North and South America. The cattle alone doubles in numbers every 15 months and feed the settlers. The New World settlers defend themselves inside sturdy forts. But there are no shortages of any kind. Meat has become one of the cheapest foods in the Americas. They are the best-fed people in the world.
Boys, you're going to want a shot of rum. This is fresh rum from...
Hides are in great demand in America as well as in Europe. And fur from the wild animals they shoot brings in a steady export income. Some, like the beaver, are hunted almost to extinction. Settlers are not forced to adapt to the landscape. They domesticate and dominate it. Most trees were cut down and turned into pasture and gardens where all kinds of vegetables and root crops that we know in England grow in profusion. They replace the trees they have cut down with their own trees. Europeans bring peaches, pears, and plums. They bring figs, olives, and bananas. And their trees flourish. They never know how lucky they are. Because the settlers also bring bees with them for their honey. The Native American bee pollinates only a few species, but European honeybees can live almost everywhere and pollinate any plant in sight. Gardens turn into plantations for consumption at home and abroad. Apples thrive and become a major industry in North America, eventually yielding a harvest of 5 million tons a year, all beginning with European seedlings. This is biological imperialism in full swing. Europe's fruits and vegetables conquer the New World. But it is also an exchange. It is the Columbian exchange. European kitchens may not see native meat from America, bison or llama, but New World vegetables make a big impact. The plant with the greatest impact on Europe needs a couple of centuries to take root in its culture. This tuber is insipid and mealy. It cannot be classed among the agreeable foodstuffs, but it furnishes abundant and rather wholesome nutrition to men who are content to be nourished. It is justly regarded as flatulent, but what are winds to the vigorous organs of peasants and laborers? Wrote Diderot in his encyclopedia in the 18th century. Introduced into Spain, potatoes slowly spread to Italy and to Northern and Eastern Europe. By 1600, the potato has entered Austria, Holland, France, Switzerland, England, and Germany. Frederick the Great himself urges its cultivation in Prussia. But it is the Irish who adopt the potato with open arms. They have a limited food supply, and grain grown here has often been destroyed or burned as the result of war. But the potato, safely underground, survives these hardships. In 100 years, the Irish population more than doubles. And towns like Berlin grow into great cities. By 1700, there is an unprecedented population explosion in Europe, thanks to a plant from the faraway Andes.